For my community in words and pictures, I will be covering the town I live in, which is New Braunfels, Texas. I'll start with the demographics. So the total population is 84,612, with 51.2% being female and 48.8% being male. For race, New Braunfels is 60.8% white, 34% Hispanic, 2% Black, 1.4% Asian, 0.3% American Indian, and 1.5% as other. 7.7% of the population is under 5 years old, 25.3% are under 18, and 14.8% are over 65. The unemployment rate is at 3%, and the poverty level is 8.9%. The crime index is 166.9, with the national average at 274. 91.2% of the population graduated from high school, 32.3% have a bachelor's degree or higher, and 8% have a graduate degree or higher. The estimated mean household income is $58,814, with an estimated median house value at $219,000. There is 50.2% of the population with no religious affiliation, 21.7% are evangelical Protestant, 16.4% are Catholic, 8.8% are mainline Protestant, and 2.8% consider themselves of another affiliation. Now I'll cover important institutions. So the formal institutions in New Braunfels consist of industries, occupations, and education. There are 7 main industries, with educational services, healthcare, and accommodations being the top 3. There are also 7 main occupations, with sales, teaching, and management being the top 3. And there are several colleges and universities located within 30 minutes of New Braunfels, with Texas State University being the most popular one. The informal institutions in New Braunfels consist of local community celebrations, churches, and cultural centers. The most popular community celebrations are Wurstfest and Wasselfest. There are 109 congregations and several cultural centers, with the Stauffenberg Museum being the most popular. I've gone ahead and added the tourist attractions since it's the principal business, along with farming and ranching. The most popular tourist attractions are Schlitterbahn Water Park, Tubing on the Rivers, and the haunted Faust Hotel. So here's a map of New Braunfels. I've also included a map showing more of Texas. Most people have heard of either San Antonio or Austin, so when I say we're located in between the two, people can usually get a good idea about where we are. On the map of New Braunfels, you can see the rivers winding through, which brings a lot of tourists. You can also see how it's expanding outward from the center of town. A lot of the local farmers are selling their land to developers, who are now building subdivisions to keep up with the growing population. So according to the article, Seeking the Good Community, 9 main requirements make up a good community. They're listed here. I'm going to go ahead and assess my community for each of these 9 elements to see whether it is a good community. So I'm going to start with safety. So to be considered a good community, based off of the article, there are few natural disasters, there's good traffic flow, a safe water supply, clean air, and a good crime rate. So according to city data, New Braunfels, specifically Comal County, has had 18 natural disasters, with 8 being declared as major disasters and 7 as emergencies. The causes of the natural disasters have been 7 storms, 6 fires, 6 floods, 4 hurricanes, 3 tornadoes, 2 firm winds, and 1 tropical storm. Now, the traffic flow in New Braunfels has become a problem with the increase in population. New Braunfels was ranked the second U.S. city in growth in 2018, with a population growth rate of 7.2% from 2017 to 2018. Now, safe water, according to the New Braunfels Utilities, none of the tests conducted in 2017 resulted in any violations for federal or state standards for water quality. The air quality index is about average at 68.1, and the crime index, as I said earlier, is at 166.9. So here are the pictures. You can see flooding damages from 1998 and then flooding occurring in 2015. So goods and services. New Braunfels is growing and now has many shops, grocery stores, and restaurants. If you can't find something in New Braunfels, you only have to travel to San Antonio or San Marcos to find it. Many people will live here even if they have to commute to work due to its small town feel. According to city data, 18% of the population commute 15 minutes, 7% commute 60 minutes, and 3% commute 90 minutes or more. The commuting time is increasing due to subdivisions being built further out from the middle of town away from the highways, and because the traffic on the highways are getting worse because of the population increases, not only in New Braunfels, but in Austin and San Antonio as well. So here you can see one of our newest shopping centers that was built at Creekside. A lot of new shops, theater, gas stations. And then on the right is downtown New Braunfels in our historic district, which is what a lot of people come here for, the small town feel. So relationships. New Braunfels provides many opportunities for its citizens to come together. On a local level, it has many community celebrations, which is shown there with Worst Fest, as well as many public parks and swimming pools. Within my neighborhood, we have many events as well. There are barbecues held down at the neighborhood pool, which is shown on the right there, where people will donate food, others will volunteer to cook, clean up, set up. They also have a night out for small businesses at the pool where you can buy goods or services from your neighbors. There's also a contest held in the neighborhood for like best yards, best Halloween decorations, best Christmas lights. Business owners will also give neighborhood residents discounts on their services and post helpful tips on the neighborhood Facebook page. There's also an elementary school within the neighborhood that gets support for their fall festival and canned good drives. Residents also will stop and buy drinks and snacks from neighborhood kids who have stands set up, as well as look for kids within the neighborhood to buy Girl Scout cookies from. So values and goals. So some values and common goals that have brought residents together in New Braunfels are improvements to the community, education, parks and recreation, and keeping the German heritage alive. So community improvements include the citywide street improvements projects, which started with the Walnut Avenue project, which is shown here on your left. It was a 3-year-long, $27.8 million reconstruction project on only 1.5 miles of road. The project included widening the road to 2 lanes, adding turning lanes, the pocket park, which is shown right there, and hike and bike trails. If you actually drive down Walnut, these are never used. Education has also proved to be a common goal with voters. They have passed 2 bond packages worth over $400 million in 2015 and 2017, allowing the local school district to build 2 new middle schools, 2 new high schools, purchase new buses, update technology. And the parks and recreations, which you'll see there on the right is Fisher Park. They've also brought community together with bonds being passed to support park projects and sports complexes. So that is Fisher Park, which cost over $80 million to construct and is on a 62-acre land. It's on 62 acres of land, including hike and bike trails, playground. There's a water splash ground there. Fishing, all kinds of things. And as I mentioned before, all the cultural community celebrations as well bring people together with common values and goals. So the whole person. In my personal experiences working in several elementary schools within New Braunfels, the employees were rarely treated as whole persons by the parents of students. Parents rarely seemed to realize that we had personal lives and that we were going through things in our lives as well. I've also seen people working in customer service be treated very badly if they mess up on something or they didn't know the answer to something. I feel that this can happen anywhere though, so I'm not sure that it is necessarily something not good about the community in New Braunfels. Predictability. I feel that New Braunfels is pretty predictable. Most people have come to expect or predict traffic and backups on certain streets and plan accordingly. There aren't many murders or severe car accidents. Pretty much people wake up, go to work, come home again without much unpredictability within their day. Place. So 12 years ago, when my family moved back to Texas and ended up in New Braunfels, there didn't seem to be much tolerance for people who did not have the same beliefs and behaviors as the residents who were mainly conservative ranchers. So as New Braunfels has grown though, the population has become more diverse with different cultures and backgrounds, which has helped the community's tolerance grow. So downtown now will shut down to celebrate the Mexican holiday, the Day of the Dead, and for a march for Martin Luther King Day. There's also a Unitarian Universalist building now in New Braunfels. So opportunities. New Braunfels has opportunities for work, play, learning, shopping, and worshiping that will provide for growth and fulfillment. There are many industries available for employment, several museums, theaters, parks, lots of entertainment available. There are quite a few colleges and universities within a 30-minute drive, and there are now several shopping centers that keep growing, as well as many congregations for worshiping. So my neighborhood has had some conflicts between neighbors, but overall, everybody gets along. Neighbors will provide free items to each other, help answer questions, and if somebody's just moved in, sell someone some eggs if they need them, though I'm not sure if that would still happen right now. And a lot of neighborhood kids play together after school and on the weekends. So, based off of needing these 9 main elements, I don't believe New Braunfels is a good community. Though it does meet most of the requirements, I feel it falls short with safety due to a lot of the natural disasters. The whole person principle, due to only being seen as my profession and not as a whole person. You know, I'm also a mother, wife, daughter, sister. And I feel it falls short as a recognized place in the social structure. So due to people in the community being judgmental and having a low tolerance of people who are different from themselves. I personally would like to make improvements to people's acceptance of others. I majored in anthropology because I love learning about different cultures and religions. So it is hard for me to understand how people can be so intolerant of others who come from different cultures and backgrounds. I would like to see more ethnic celebrations within the community, as well as education being offered about those cultures.